Uh, Listen, our guys, they've been fighting all year to try to make some noise, and we want to go after every trophy that's out there. And there's three currently, including the Rocky Mountain Cup, right? So, listen, we're at home. We have a little bit of the edge, right? And our guys believe that last year wasn't a fluke, and that we found ways to win. I give Santos a lot of credit because they came out in the second half and made it very difficult for us. But yeah, listen, it's we love these tournaments. You can see what makes the tournament so special. We so much respect for the Mexican teams and the coaches, the tactics. It's such a challenge for us. It pushes us, and yeah, we have a lot of work to do. We love that we get found a way to come back late again, kind of like last year. And well, I'm not going to start thinking it's anything other than a one game and one at a time. We have a lot of work to do, but I love the fashion in which we won and we stuck together. And yeah, on to the next.
Coach, there's a lot of good duos in this league. With the Rapids here, you have Hafa Navajo and Georgia Mihalovic. They connect on another goal tonight. What can you say about them working together and what makes them so special?
Yeah, listen, it's there's certain players around the world that have a knack for football intelligence, understanding the final third, a desire to score goals, a desire to create goals, and both of those guys do that at a high level. So you know, they have a really good relationship and partnership that they each know what each other's thinking, and you can see on the night, Georgie how much he puts into the game. Even at the end, dropping into our 4-5-1, and then also Rafa, the his ability, not just passion, but his ability to get on the other thing. So great for him.
Hi, Coach. Alex Labadou goal. Two questions. One, what do you make of the changes to League Cup this year? And two, what from your vantage point, what happened at the end of the match with the scuffle?
Yeah. So what was the first part of your question?
What do you make about all the new changes to League Cup this year?
Yeah. Listen, I kind of liked it last year. The group play and you can kind of like that typical tournament play in a group, and you can try to get out of the group in certain ways. So yeah, listen, it's the new format. It makes it much tougher to move on. Do you need 7, 8, or 9 points to move on? We'll see. Yeah, so that's the main thing, that it's so few teams get to move on, which the margins are thinner. So we'll have to accept that. But yeah, the scuffle at the end of the game. If I'm being honest, it's I've played against international football before. I've played against Mexico before. I, and the reason I just have so much respect for the Mexican teams, the coaches, the players, and their league, that this is part of it. It's what makes so many of those players good and coaches, that there's real passion. I think it's good for our all of us to see that and experience that. But we also have that, and this gets the clashes because both teams want it so bad. So I'm not sure what their coach has said or what say. I only have respect for them. I didn't. Maybe they misunderstood what I said. I did not go below the belt or anything. But yeah, I got my crowd going a little bit, and that could be taken a certain way. But I only respect for Santos. They thought they pushed us hard in the second half, and it's could have went either way.
Hey, Coach. I believe you only made one sub tonight, and I believe that was Darren Yappy. Was there a reason for that, or did you just believe that that group of guys was going to find the winner?
Yeah, we thought we were in a good way. Sometimes the wingers get tired, and so we took off Ku Di Pietro, and Calvin was still dangerous. You can see, and what one of the reasons he was dangerous was his speed, and we thought, with Santos they play such a high line, we wanted to have that counter threat and that speed on the back line. Um, and then we score the goal, and it's like a few minutes left. So it's, do you make the changes? These games aren't easy to come into, so we thought just to leave it. It wasn't really broken at the moment, and we just thought, let's let it ride. Let's ride it out. These guys that had a good feel for what was going on.
Coach, these Liga MX teams travel really well. It was a big showing from the Santos fans as well. But the C38 Rapids fans hung in there. How's important for them to not lose their voice when there's such a huge Santos presence in the crowd?
Listen. I'll say it again. The our Latino community and the Mexican community, whoever came out to support Santos, they added so much to what the game was. And again, big shout out to our fans that showed up. And it's also just a fan base and Santos's fans showing real support for the team. And I thought it was a great atmosphere. And both had a lot to cheer for their team. And we always say we hope to just get more in our community supporting. Can we be the Santos's fans here in America? But listen, we were fortunate to have the game at home. If all these games are played in Mexico, man, it would be really tough. So we try to capitalize on home field advantage.
Chris, there's been a lot of competition for minutes in that double pivot alongside Cole. Do you have an update on Josh Atencio and what's going on with him, and your thoughts on Ollie's performance given the injuries to Connor and Josh?
Yeah, listen, I think first and foremost, like Josh Atencio, he's got a little MCL sprain, just needs a little bit of time for that thing to tighten up. And typically it's, how many weeks is that? We have to see. But it means that there's opportunity for other guys. And, Oliver's a guy that we've really called upon this year. And so for him, it was right back to work as usual. He stepped in a really tough game. He showed up on the night. I think he met the demands of a difficult game. And what you love most about Oliver Larraz is that we don't like the players that are hiding, and he's never hiding. He's always up for it. He's really a gamer. So I remind myself that he's still a young guy, but plays big. So good night for him.
Chris, good evening. Jose Nunez, MLSsoccer.com. I wanted to ask you, you spoke a little about the razor-thin margins to come on top on some of these games. And I think this one specifically felt like a tale of two halves where your team had more opportunities in the first half to potentially put this away earlier than maybe leaving it up to the last 10 minutes or so after dealing with a lot of pressure. What are some of these changes to maybe come on top a little bit earlier that you're looking into, especially as you think about some tough opponents who maybe are going into the second and third round of this tournament down and already maybe thinking about the next step?
Listen, the Mexican teams and there's certain trends that you see from the teams. They can play direct. They can play big diagonal balls. They can play in the pockets. At halftime, I thought the few players they brought in helped them. It helped the game. They were clever. They were smart. They got on the ball. And listen, so much of our style of play revolves around intensity. And sometimes you can get fatigued. And that means you have to get a little bit better, deeper. And our guys kept going. We're going in a high press, and we had to call the dogs back a little bit at some stage because we were getting a little bit stretched. So when we do get tired, instead of that 4-2-4, it looks more like 4-4-2. We're trying to protect the wide areas. And listen, you still have to deal with, at the end of the day, when you look at the rosters that you're up against, there's still such an individual quality, technical, tactical, that how do you deal with that? Oftentimes it's not just 1v1 moments. It's you got to get numbers up situations. And yeah, we tried to help the team. We tried to defend the wide areas a little bit later by dropping Georgie into the midfield and played in a midfield five. So yeah, each team will pose some different challenges, and they certainly push us in the second half.
Another one from me. You mentioned earlier about how difficult it would be to play in Mexico. Is that ever something that you think that the League's Cup should explore as a possible growth there?
Yeah, I'm not sure all the reasons why, and I think we do a nice job hosting it. But yeah, I think they will explore that at some stage. It'd be really interesting to see it done that way. I'm not sure the logistically and all the reasons why, but I kind of like it this way because it helps to play these games at home. I mean, I played against the Mexican competition in Mexico. I played at Azteca at 100,000 people for the national team, and yeah, if they're good here, believe me, they're really good there. So it's all the respect. But who knows? It could be interesting if they open it up that way.